Hey, you beautiful humans, and welcome back to Elevate Your Frequency. Today, we're talking about something most people skip. And honestly, it is the reason their goals don't stick. And this is what I like to call the reflective pause, the pullback. Because just like a bow and arrow, before you launch forward, you have to pull back. Not as a setback, not as a struggle story you tell for drama, but as a moment of intention, a conscious breath before you decide who you are becoming next. Most people rush right past this part. You're not going to do that this year. If you're here, you probably are someone who cares deeply, who holds a lot, who wants more for your life without burning yourself out to get it. So stay with me, because this is the step that quietly changes everything about how you move into your new year. So the pullback, this is the pause that is required for precision. When an archer pulls the bow back, they're not rushing. They're not thinking, let me just get this over with. They're not flinging an arrow into the air and hoping that one lands. They are steadying themselves. They are grounding their body. They are lining up their shot with clarity. They are connected to where they are aiming and why it matters. That is what reflection does for your life. You cannot aim without awareness. You cannot choose aligned goals if you have not taken a real look at the version of who you were and how you lived this past year. Think about it for a minute. If you don't know how you felt, what patterns were silently running the show, what you were really craving, what was silently draining you, then any goal that you set is just a guess or a should do this goal, right? And guesses and shoulds do not create sustainable change. Precision does. Presence does. Honest reflection does. The pullback is your precision. It is the difference between I hope this year is better and I know exactly where I am and I know exactly where I want to go. There is a big difference there. Most people skip the pullback and it shows by February. You're not most people. This is why people burn out on their resolutions. They set goals with zero context, no clarity, no honest look at how they've actually been operating this past year, no curiosity about what worked, what did not, and what really matters to them. They sprint into the next year with a list of shoulds, right? The should lose weight, should be more productive, should wake up earlier, should meditate, should be happier, should get more movement in, should eat better. The list goes on. And it's because they never paused to pull back and really see themselves. The goals are not rooted in truth. They're rooted in pressure from society or from comparison. So what happens? By mid to late January, that initial motivation starts to fade. By February, the gym is emptier. The journal pages are blank again. The habits they promised themselves they would pick up, they start to slip. And it's not because they are weak or undisciplined. It's not because they didn't pick up the arrow. It's not because the arrow was never aimed. All of those things took place. It was because there was no pullback, no reflection, no grounded starting point. The arrow either flies in 5 different directions at once, or it drops flat right in front of them. And then they tell themselves stories like, I never follow through. I never do what I set out to do. When really what happens is that the process was incomplete from the start. It's not about them. They didn't fail. So you are not going to repeat that cycle this year. You are going to do it differently. And you want to know why I know this? Because you're here and you're still listening. So reflection is not optional. Reflection is your alignment. Before you create a single goal, you need to understand the year that you just lived. Not to judge it, not to shame yourself, not to dissect every mistake and live in regret, all right? Reflection is not punishment. Reflection is information. It is a compassionate look at your life so you can make your next step an intentional step instead of a reactive one. When we reflect, you start to see your patterns, how you coped when things got hard, where your energy naturally went, what you kept saying yes to when in reality, you really wanted to say no. Where you lit up, where you shut down, right? You see your growth edges, the places that stretched you, and you see your values in real time, not just the values you claimed, but the ones you actually lived. And that came from a place, right? And from that place, you can create goals that are not generic. They're calibrated to you, to your real nervous system, your real capacity, your real life. Reflection is how you say, I see myself clearly. I honor where I've been, but now I get to choose where I'm going next. That's alignment. That is the pullback. So these are the 4 reflective questions I want you to answer. This is your pullback moment. All right, we're gonna step into this together. You can pause this video after each question if you want to journal. Or you can just listen the first time and let your body respond first. Sometimes the truth lands before the words do. So either pause it as we go, listen to it the entire way through, and then come back and pause it as you go. So here are the 4 questions that I want you to sit with. Question 1, who were you in January? Not who you hoped to be, but who you genuinely were. Right? What season of life were you standing in at the start of this year? Were you in survival mode? Were you rebuilding after something hard? Were you excited? Maybe exhausted? Grieving? Numb? Hopeful? Name that version of you with compassion, not judgment. This is, remember, truth is information. Question 2, how are you predominantly feeling? What emotions led the way for you? Were you anxious most days? Overwhelmed? Maybe you were determined, disconnected. Did you feel like you were always behind? Or did you feel maybe secretly resentful or quietly proud of how much you were juggling at once? Let yourself be honest here. If you can't tell the truth about how you felt then, you can't choose how you want to feel moving forward, right? Question 3, what was the energy that you were living in? Were you overwhelmed? Were you exhausted? Were you running from a place of just pure survival because you didn't have a choice? Was the energy chaotic? Was it stressful? Were you in a season of just pushing through? Was it a season of trying to rebuild? Was it a season where you were expanding and saying yes to everything? How did your energy show up in your body? Were you wired and also tired simultaneously? Because that does happen. Did you collapse and pour yourself into your couch every single night, calling it rest, even though your mind never actually stopped enough to slow down and rest? Did you feel present? Or did you feel like you were watching your life from the outside? And I can speak to that from experience. This is not about getting it perfect, okay? It's about recognizing the energetic climate you were living in. Pure just recognition here, okay? And then the last question, question 4. What areas were you hoping to focus on or improve? What did you want more of at the beginning of this year? Did you want more time for yourself? Were you wanting more connection, more health, maybe more creativity, more money, more peace, more presence? What goal were you setting out to achieve at the beginning of this year? And if you are honest, was that goal coming from a true desire, or was that coming from pressure and comparison because that's just what everybody else was shooting for? Take a deep breath. I want you to allow these answers to be real and raw and honest for the first time in your life. To allow yourself that moment to be like, what I set out to do, did it really matter to me, or did I just set it to set it? That is your pullback in action. This is you steadying your hand on the bow. So before you start writing goals or creating vision boards or making those New Year resolutions, I want you to pause. I want you to pull back, reflect with intention. Because the clearer the pullback, the truer the aim, and the stronger the forward release will be for you. If this reflection is already shifting something inside of you, let this be your sign to stay in this work. You do not have to sprint into the new year with everyone else. You get to enter it consciously. If you want support in doing that and you want more conversations like this, make sure you subscribe and stay connected here. This is the space where we disrupt burnout culture and we elevate your frequency in real, grounded, sustainable ways. I will meet you in the next video, okay? Where we're gonna talk about momentum. We're gonna talk about the release and how to move forward in a way your nervous system can actually hold, in a way that it is actually sustainable for the life you want to be living. I am proud of you for staying here. I am proud of you for choosing to pull back first. See you in the next video.